The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everybody, welcome to PAPERCUTS Part 3, generously sponsored by the MPTA and AdTask. MPTA, they represent the paper merchants and some of the paper mills, the paper stream, we love the paper people, and AdTask is an awesome project management platform. Works online, it's cloud-based, it's very cool. If you're looking for a solution, especially if you're an advertising agency, it has a lot of creative functions, so check it out. May you flip the slide, please? Molly? Molly?
Hello, hello.
Hi, can you change the slide, please? Thank you. A little bit about PrintMediaCentr. We provide information to the print and marketing community. If you found out about this webinar in a short period of time, you might want to sign up for our mailing list at webinarsprintmediacentr.com, and this way you get a advanced notice of it. Every Wednesday, we do print chat on Twitter. Sorry for these spacing issues. I was messing with the format last night. We do print chat on Twitter, and a bunch of people, is that better? A bunch of people from the industry are on there. Tomorrow, we actually have Xerox as our co-host, and obviously visit PrintMediaCentr, connect with us on social, and find out everything we're doing. Molly, can you flip the slide? Today we're talking about doing digital, designing, buying, and printing on high-value products. We're very happy to have Molly Rosenthal with us from Mohawk Paper. She will get into all of this. I just wanted to give you a quick introduction. Welcome everybody, and now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Molly.
Thank you, Deborah. Well, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to take you through a few interesting products that show some of the substrates that you can use these days on digital presses. And feel free to ask questions. Deborah has the link to that, and we'll pop in if you have questions, so feel free. We'd like to make it as interactive as possible. A little bit about myself. I am an ex-print salesperson by trade and love this business. At the end, I'll give you my email address. If you ever have questions or comments or need motivation, certainly reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I'm going to ask everybody to think of the following question as we go through today's webinar. You know, what would you make today if you could make anything? Would you like to make something beautiful with gorgeous paper? Would you like to make money? Would you like to make a difference? What would you like to make? At the end, I'll tell you what I would like to make and what I try to do every day. Just quick something about us as a company. We are an 82-year-old paper-making company that has morphed into substrates and envelopes and embedded products and many, many more things. For those that are interested, I thought I would just show you quickly what a paper machine looks like in a schematic. And for those of you that have never been to see a paper mill, reach out to your paper merchants. Probably wherever you are in the country and Canada, there is a paper mill within a half a day's drive of you. And it's a great opportunity to go out and see, you know, from the moment on the left side of the screen where it's oatmeal to the right side of the screen where it winds up into a huge roll. That technology that happens from very wet to beautiful finished embossed paper. So if you've never had a chance, reach out to one of the paper merchants in your area. They would love to take you on a mill tour. So that's one of our paper machines, and every paper machine is a little different, but it's a great opportunity. Today we do make paper, envelopes, we coat synthetics, we convert specialty substrates. We embed magnets and synthetics. And just a few years ago, we were just a fine text and cover mill. Today, we're going to talk about high-value products that you can use going through digital equipment. And we're not going to talk fine papers or production papers or anything else that we do. We're going to just talk about synthetics, pressure-sensitive magnets, embedded, and dimensional products. For those of you that have anything to do with either quoting, if you're a buyer, or if you're a designer and you're doing estimates for people, lots of companies have the ability to give you what the environmental footprint is of the paper or substrate that you're using. You can use, the EPA has an environmental calculator. We have one. And it's kind of an interesting thing to go in and look, depending on what the post-consumer recycled content is, whether it's uncoated or not, and to calculate really what's happening in the environment. I show you this just because it's kind of an interesting thing to see, what greenhouse gases are coming out if you use, 100% post-consumer or 30, kind of an interesting little toy. For all of you that are on the webinar today, we will mail you each one of these kits that we're going to go through in the first few slides. It is a kit that is made for a pretend university, and the pretend university is having a pretend event because we're a paper mill. We like to make things up. So that's what we did. The name of the event is Idea Fest, and we're going to show you all of the different things that you can use for specialty products when you're having an event. The first one is vinyl on the far right, the light bulb that says room 115. That's a piece of vinyl that you can actually peel off the back and stick it anywhere. It's ultra removable. You can put it on the wall, you can put it on a table, you can put it on wallpaper, and it does not leave a mark, and you can move it around. The one underneath is a Kiss Cut Frosty Clear sticker to show that you can actually kiss cut. These are all digitally printed and finished afterwards. So lots of range of applications, whether they're direct mail labels or whether they're indoor, outdoor use, any of that is possible. For those of you that don't know, when you use dry toner on a piece of vinyl or a piece of polyester, the toner, which is actually plastic particles, actually becomes part of that substrate and becomes waterproof and weatherproof. So you can actually use some of these outdoor in addition. Magnets, there's lots of different kinds of magnets on the market for digital. This is to show that you can actually die cut magnets. These are actually unmagnetized sheets that you magnetize afterwards with either a hand magnetizer, a desk magnetizer, or an industrial magnetizer. Sheet size that we stock is 1218, but with all of the products that we're looking at here, anything is available. We can make custom sizes for you, custom finishes, package them however you want for just a few sheets. The industry as a whole has taken magnets to the next level. There are lots and lots of opportunities out there. And for those that have never seen a magnetizer, it's a really interesting little, looks like a paint roller with quarters on it that have been drilled down the middle that actually aligns all those little magnetic fibers. So kind of a cool thing. If you've never seen one, talk to your paper merchant. I'm sure they'd love to share it with you. In the embedded part of the portfolio and what's happening in the business is really embedding or integrating two different things together. So the top right is a piece of paper that has an integrated magnet inside the paper. So on the front, it's a magnet you can print on, and on the back, you just peel it off. It's got a piece of mylar that protects it to go through a piece of digital equipment, so that this one is actually magnetized. There's lots of different offering in this, whether you want it as a postcard or whether you want it to be in a letter, as is down below. It's a great way to do something as a reminder for a customer or to do some kind of promotional direct mail piece. So we'll show you in a few more slides of a place that merchant that did a really good job in using an embedded product and actually had a 100% response rate on something.
Molly?
Yeah.
Before you go on, there's a question about the magnetic fibers that you were talking about.
Yep.
How do they not get activated in the press is the question. They don't activate it in the press, or once they're activated, can they go through the press? I think that was a very interesting point, if you could just go back for a second.
Sure, absolutely. Let me go back to that slide. So in magnets, there are magnets that are magnetized, and there are some that are unmagnetized. Unmagnetized sheets can go through the press because it won't catch on any of the metal inside the press because it's just really a heavy piece of paper at that point. It's magnetized post-press with either the hand magnetizer, the desk magnetizer, or really a big industrial sheet magnetizer. So in that case, it goes through the press easily. In this case, it's a magnet that on the back of the card has a piece of clear mylar that protects it, and it does not get caught up in the equipment because those fibers aren't actually touching metal to metal.
Thank you.
Does that answer the question?
I believe so.
Great. Well, thank you for the question. The next is, a reminder that in the business, a lot of times designers leave the envelope design for the last part. And nowadays, with envelope converting equipment, really you can do anything. You can put a window anywhere. You can make it any shape. You can make it any size. That really, sometimes it's better to start with the design of the envelope first and work everything afterwards, because sometimes that takes a little more time in the production phase. But anything is possible. We're seeing a lot of really interesting designs with cool flaps, really, great stripes on the inside of envelopes. We are seeing a trend toward people actually die-cutting little parts or logos out of the backs of flaps of envelopes, which is kind of neat. So if you have a company that you're doing business for and they always print the envelope two-sided, you can actually make a custom envelope for them by die-cutting out their logo on the back and not really having to print much information on the back, and still be able to keep that brand consistency. And that's really a new trend we're seeing in envelopes. This piece is actually made of synthetic polyester, and it literally folds up into a pocket map to show you that if you need waterproof or weatherproof, tear-proof product, you can literally fold and score it and have something virtually indestructible. And the trend toward lamination is going away, and using a synthetic product is really what people are doing. It's much better for the environment because lamination cannot actually go into the landfill, and synthetics can. So it's a great way for you to be able to do something a little different and have a cleaner look than you would with film lamination.
And we have a question. Is there a grain in the sheet?
Is there a grain in the synthetic sheet?
I believe so.
A magnetic sheet, yeah. If it's a magnetic paper sheet they're asking for, there would be grain in the paper top. If they're asking about synthetic polyester, there is no grain.
The poly, so we're cool.
Yep. Yep. This is actually made of PVC, and this is to show that you can actually die cut PVC. And if you look at the bottom of it, this is a parking path. You can actually perf off at the bottom that, literally, even though it's a plastic, you have the ability to do some post-press finishing on there. So if you need something really heavy, indestructible, at a much lower price point than you would a polyester, PVC is an option for you to do that. And if you're printing this on a dry toner piece of equipment, you also have indestructible. You can't scratch the toner off, and you can't, water doesn't take it off. So it's a great option for that. A new part of the business is pre-converted synthetics. So they're synthetic, meaning waterproof, weatherproof, tear-proof, so on and so forth. But they're pre-converted, which is interesting for quick turn in digital work. Things like tags. So this is a tag that comes 8 up with a little drill hole, and all you do is actually pop them apart. So it's got a perf wherever you see that black line, and they just perf apart. So you print the sheet, comes 8.5 by 11, and take it apart. So there's no post-press with that. Same thing applies for the ability to do 6 up or 8 up badges, whether you want them horizontal or vertical. The same thing applies. You just snap them out of the sheet. The door hanger is the same thing. You don't have to go and die cut and finish offline. These print dry toner and just pop apart. Luggage tag, which is one of people's favorite when they see this. Recently I saw a guy that had one of these tags at the airport, and he literally picked his suitcase up by it. That's how strong synthetic is, so really indestructible. Cards is another part of what's come and really is going crazy. You know, lots and lots of choices, whether they're magnetic cards or gift cards, decal cards, paper cards. There's lots and lots of options, and it's not just loyalty cards. You know, people are using them in very, very interesting ways. Lots of formats and layouts. You will hear terms now that are probably new to buyers and designers, whether it's 1 up, 2 wide, or 2 up, 2 wide. Lots of new terms for us to learn. Things like premium polyester to adhesive cards. Bottom right is an interesting format for anybody that's doing direct mail. This is the size for every door direct by the post office. So literally, it's print a sheet that's 12.375 by 18, got 4 postcards up on it, and you chop it up in 4 pieces and off it goes, and it does get you that discount. So it's great, and it's an adhesive card. It just peels off and can stick anywhere. So for people that have mailings where they think they may not want to use a magnetic card, you can use an adhesive card, and it works the same way as a magnet. It'll stick anywhere.
Molly?
Yes.
So we have a question about the synthetic polyester paper that you're talking about. I think you said that it could go into the landfill, but not laminated paper, something to that extent. And the question is basically, is that environmentally friendly?
Is it environmentally friendly?
Yeah.
So synthetics can go in different recycling streams depending on which kind they are, unlike film lamination cannot be recycled.
So that's what I meant by that.
Yep, I would say that it is much more environmentally friendly because you can recycle it. And at Mohawk, we actually have a recycled polyester also that's made of recycled soda bottles. So there are very environmental options available today.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Also, what's kind of interesting is if you look at this screen on the bottom left side, the 4-up greeting card is kind of an interesting piece. So it has a little square magnet in it. It is pre-scored so that you print it, cut the sheet apart, and you could have save the date cards for something. And you know, these are only the beginning of what's happening in the embedded or the integrated business. You can imagine what will happen as time goes on. Think of all the colors and beautiful papers that are out there, whether they're, you know, translucent or whether they're metallic or whether they're a beautiful felt lemon yellow paper. Imagine embedding something into a sheet and make a very custom sheet, you know, make a sheet just for yourself. So the options are endless. And paper merchants are aware of all of these products. They're aware of what capabilities are for embedding things. They're happy to come in and talk to you about what you're working on and what custom product could be made for you. So, really reach out to our distribution partners. They're happy to really come in and show you some really neat stuff. This is the adhesive card and decal. So the left side where you see the picture of the guy and it says employee is actually a card that pops out of the sheet. The right side of the sheet is reverse printed on a decal. So it's a combo sheet, kind of neat. You can imagine, if you were going to do a mailing for college alumni, you could give somebody their own ID donor card on the left, and you could give them a decal of the school's logo for their car on the right. Really, just endless opportunities. You can imagine what if you put this on a really pretty, pale blue piece of paper and embedded cards. So it's really interesting. We have lots of stock products, and the choices, I would say, are endless.
And Molly?
Yep.
Sorry, question. Is this material available on rolls?
It is not as a standard, but it could be as a custom, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is a magnetic card. So this is a sheet of paper with a magnet embedded in it. And this would be one that would have Mylar on the back of it so that it is pre-magnetized and could go through dry toner digital equipment. So that's kind of cards. I'll take you quickly through another part of the paper business that is growing very quickly, and for us, almost weekly, we have new products being added to this. These are dimensional pieces that are pre-converted pieces like the synthetics that I showed you, although they are offered in paper. So the cube box, we happen to offer in superfine eggshell, in linen, and also in a cast-coated product. So if you have a need for something a little different, that's great. All of these products and the synthetic products have templates available, and in the end I'll show you where you can find those if you're interested. Greeting cards, so that a printer doesn't have to set up a score for a very short run. They literally just snap out of the sheet, and a forward and a backward bend of the sheet, and out they pop. Things like the gift box, or as I refer to it as the apple pie box, great way for you to send somebody a little something or leave somebody a little something. Nice way to, if I was selling printing today, this would be my business card. I have all my information on that box, and if I missed you and when I stopped by for an appointment, I'd leave you that instead of a business card. The door hanger, so this is paper door hanger, unlike the one we saw before that's synthetic. A little more sophisticated with a round arch, but very easily popped out of a sheet. You can print it one side or two sides and finish it immediately.
Okay, we have a couple of questions.
Okay.
They're flying in now. Okay, first, why isn't bleed recommended on the dimensional products?
Bleed is not for a couple of reasons. Whenever you're going over an indentation on a digital piece of equipment, you may not get all the toner in the nooks and crannies. Do we see people do it? Yes. Does some of it look really beautiful? Yes. But I would tell you, we're saying the best practice is not to do it because you will see some toner deletion in some of those areas.
Okay, and what were the dimensions of the 2-up gift box?
The 2-up gift box finished, I don't think I can tell you that off the top of my head, but I can tell you that the sheet is 12 by 18.
Okay.
But if you want to shoot me an email, I can give you the exact dimensions of that. When I go back to my desk, I can measure it.
Okay, and then one more question.
Yep.
Does Mohawk provide merchants with a list of the digital presses that you recommend for these different materials to run on?
Great question. That person gets an A for being attentive. Yes, yes, we absolutely do. And in just a few short slides, I'm going to show it to you.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. Is that all?
Yes, but he's very happy.
Well,
Greg,
I'm very happy too.
Greg Desidoro gets the Teacher's Pet Award today.
Well, yes, he does. So the wine box is one of the pieces that we have that literally only fits on an iGen, and that's 20.5 by 14.3, and we currently have two products that fit that size, a pocket holder and this. And this is a great piece. Doesn't need to just be a wine box. You could, roll T-shirts up and hand them out for promotions. Or we've seen people do beautiful olive oil in them. So it's a really beautiful box. It is an 120 pound. It's very heavy, but a gorgeous, gorgeous box when it's completed. I would say if there are designers out there that are looking for business, here's my tip of the day. It is go see your local real estate agent with this template and say, I would love to put your name and a beautiful design on it, and every time you sell a house, I will make sure that you have these to put your wine in. I've said this to a number of people. Nobody to date has done it. I think it's a huge business for somebody. So take my idea and run with it, and when you do, send me a sample. I'd love one. The 2-up golf ball box is also a great way to, fill it with candy or put your business card inside and drop it off for somebody. Very, very cost effective because it is 2-up and also offered in a number of different finishes from us. This is the pocket holder that I mentioned that's also iGen. We offer it in a couple of different ways. So lots of people don't have finishing equipment. If you're a designer and you don't have the ability to glue pocket holders, this has a little tape tab that you just tuck in. Or there's full taped versions that would end up being like any other pocket holder that you know. But a great way for you to promote yourself with these dimensional items. They come in very small packs. You can get a pack of 10, a pack of 50, or 250. So, whether you're getting them from us or somebody else, it's a great way to promote yourself, that you love print and you understand the beautiful paper, that tactile feel helps sell your product. Table tents, same thing applies. You just snap the sheet in half and off it goes. And when I say that, it's literally a bend forward and a bend backwards, and out it comes. And like I told you, it is expanding. There are lots and lots of products. There are 44 new products coming. Just a few of them are, the general purpose box, table towers, CD mailers, and the list goes on and on and on. Templates are available from us for the products we offer here at Mohawk MakeReady or Mohawk Connect, should you want those, and they are free of charge. Custom opportunities are everywhere. Use our merchant partners. They are trained by us in all the details of equipment and capabilities of converting and, the good, bad, and ugly of paper. So they can help you build any product that you're interested in, and that's a very easy thing for them to do. So then you say, well, where do I get these products? I need them. I have to have them. We found that that people say it's very fragmented where you buy. You can get this online and you can get that somewhere else. It is very easy to find one of our merchant partners. You can go online and there's lots of merchants. You put in your zip code and off you go. So, feel free to take a look. This is the piece that I mentioned to you.
Molly?
Yeah.
Let me just stop you now. Let me just, we have some questions, okay?
Yeah.
First question is, I'm not really sure how this is related to this webinar. So Amy, I'll follow up with you, but Craig wants to know, he's seen samples of Mohawk Multi-Loft. Any idea when that might be available?
I will tell you that it will be available by year end. It probably won't have that name. We are working on some new additions to the line, so I would say hopefully by Christmas. How's that?
Craig is very excited about that.
Oh, good, good. Thank you,
then,
Craig.
Amy, the business cards that are chipping, is that on these substrates? That's what I'm not understanding. Perhaps that's a question we can help you with after the webinar, if that's okay. So go ahead, Molly, and then I'll see what Amy says.
Okay. All right. So this is the piece that I told you about that had a huge response rate. This is actually an embedded card where it says, "Are you feeling lucky?" Literally, there's a synthetic embedded card there, and this is the front of the sheet, the back of the sheet, and the envelope that it was mailed in. This was for one of our merchant partners in the Toronto, Canada area, Spicers. They wanted to do a lunch and learn and have me come out and talk to people about the joys of digital printing and all the things you can put through your digital press. And literally mailed it to, X number of people, hoping that they would get, a 30 or 40% response rate. They literally got 100% response rate. And the majority of people, when surveyed, said, why did you respond? They said because they've never seen anything like this before. And they were very interested in coming to see, how do you get products that are unusual like this. So, to all the designers that are on the line, yes, it's beautiful design, and I so appreciate that somebody used the back real estate of the letter. I think the brightly colored envelope definitely helped, but it was interesting. They had 100% response rate, and they had 100% of the people show up. So when you do something a little differently, you can really get some great results. Envelopes, this is to remind you that, there are lots and lots of envelope choices. We see lots and lots of things in our mailbox that are white, wove envelopes. Higher response rate with colored envelopes than white envelopes, and that you can get from teeny tiny little colored envelopes up to very large envelopes. So remember that envelopes, are everywhere. The technology has changed. To make colored envelopes minimums, they're much smaller than they were only just a few years ago. So keep the envelope in mind. So I'm going to take you quickly through MakeReady, and it's a website for us that really helps people that are interested in digital. It gives you practical advice and information that you can take quickly with you and go out and do something with it. You can download all of our templates here, and you can look at things like articles or PowerPoints, really boiled down so that you don't spend half your day looking at something. If you haven't been on, feel free to join the community. It is free of charge, and there's lots of information on there. This is not just selling Mohawk products. This is helping the industry as a whole. So, I say, feel free. We'd love you to take a look. And we love your feedback. If you see something that you like or you don't like, or you want to add some content, or you have a great story, we love it if you share. So that's there. On there, thank you, Mr. Greg, is the Mohawk Dimensional portfolio, is also every single thing you want to know about what runs on what equipment. So all of production color equipment is listed here. It is listed by specific OEM, whether it's Canon or Ricoh or HP or Xerox. It is all there. You click on the specific press that you're interested in finding information out, and this can tell you, the buyer or the designer, what's the largest sheet size, what is the largest image area, how many sheets per minute does it run, and what works on it and what doesn't. What's the thickest, what's the lightest. And we take you through every one of our products that have been tested on all of this equipment and tell you whether it works or it doesn't work, and if it works, how it works. If you're looking for a specific dimensional piece, you actually have a live link within that to be able to click it and grab the template there too if you want that. So it's a great way for you to be able to actually get all the information right at your fingertips. So if you're interested, go ahead.
Two things. Are you testing your substrates to be included for RICO?
We are. It is there. Yep.
Okay, great. And the second question is, if you could just one more time go over the bleed situation.
Sure. So I'm going to zip back here a couple slides. We can get to look at a template. Wow.
Barbara came a little late to the webinar, so she missed that. But it is important to discuss because it is.
Yes. Yep. So Barbara, just for you. So if you look at this template of the golf ball box, you will see the outside of the template is a red line. So that's, you know, the actual area of the box. Inside that is another line, and that line is where the image should be. And then if you look at the blue, in between that little black line, in between the pale blue lines, that's where we're telling you not to put any toner. And we're telling you that because it literally has scores and perfs there. And what happens with dry toner is it may or may not get into that little valley of a score, so that you may have some toner deletion in there. And if you want to do it, feel free. We've seen it, and sometimes it's beautiful and sometimes it's not. But we're recommending one of the best practices is that you don't actually print over the folds or the scores.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So if you're interested, you know, shoot me an email. We have a really great swatch with all of these products in it that you can have and go out and be inspired to use beautiful paper in interesting ways. In the beginning, I asked you what you would make today to be thinking about it. I think about it every day as I'm out and about. After I was in 161 different design studios and print shops. And here's what I try to make every day. I try to eat healthier. I try to not have boring conversations with people. I try to buy American because I work for an American manufacturer that appreciates that we are an American manufacturer with 700 people employed. I give thanks because I love this business. I truly do. If you're not inspired, call me. I will inspire you. And I try to save my pennies because I have lots of kids in college, and someday I'm going to fill my piggy bank, but not today. And I'm going to try to make a difference in this business and, you know, help people make beautiful things. You know, would I love it to always be my thing? Yes. But you know what? I'm happy to help you make anything. So if you're interested in having more conversations about beautiful things, feel free to reach out to me. And that's all I have. And I want to thank, you know, Deborah, who's put together an amazing program at the Print Media Center. And if any of you are getting the opportunity to come to Chicago to Print 13, I say you have to stop by and meet Deborah in the Printerverse. It is the most fun you will ever have at a trade show in your whole life.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And thank you to our partner, NPTA, for being a great trade association that we're a member of. And thank you for at TAF for sponsoring today.
So Molly, the #1 question here is, what is your email address?
Oh,
so maybe we could focus on that slide actually.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect. So does anyone else have any questions? Mostly people are just saying thank you. Mostly people just saying thank you.
Wonderful. Well, they're very well. Well, you know, we have an answer from Mr. Joe Schember, the product manager here at the mill, on the finished size of the gift box.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, 6.85 by 3.55 by 1.1. So the perfect giveaway size is what I would say.
I don't remember who asked that, but if they, here's questions. Yay, we love questions. Oh, Mel says thank you for the size.
You're
Okay,
very welcome.
what about foil metallic finishes, or
there's
the
lots.
cards?
There's lots of products on the market that have beautiful foil papers. We don't happen to manufacture one, but any paper merchant in your area can absolutely bring you probably 3 or 4 different mill swatch books of foil products.
Okay. So I guess the question was not does it work on that? Not does it work on your stuff?
Does the foil metallic work on a digital press?
No.
Yeah.
Well, don't you finish it afterwards?
Oh, can you foil stamp?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yep.
Okay. The door hangers work great for car dealer service departments. That's a tip from Michael Green.
Thank you, Michael Green.
Can you write on the vinyl substrates with a ballpoint pen?
I think it depends on the pen. I would tell you absolutely with a Sharpie, I know you can.
Yeah, of course.
And we can absolutely send you samples to test. If you're interested, shoot me a note. We'll send you some out, or reach out to whoever or wherever you are. I'm sure we have a merchant partner nearby. You could probably
Okay, Tomoko, did you let me know for sure that you copied Molly's email address? Otherwise, you know how to find me, and I will get you in touch with her. Another question. What is the perf on the boxes? Is it a micro perf? A lot of questions coming in.
It is. It is a patented proprietary micro perf. Many little teeth per inch.
Okay.
Literally, when you pop it out, you can't actually tell that it's there. It's that fine.
Okay, she says thank you. That was Maria. Now we have a question from Denise. Are there minimum order sizes for any of the embedded or dimensional portfolio? Would they ever be available retail?
Our merchant partners have things called paper stores that you can walk right into and buy a package of materials. So depending on where you are, you can go online and find a merchant on our Find a Merchant tool. You can do that. You can also, if you need 1 or 2 sheets, we can do that. But the smallest pack is 50 sheets of paper.
50.
50.
Okay. Do you have a stock that could be applied to a baseball bat as a stencil? Like a crack and peel?
Yes, with permanent adhesive, yes, a vinyl would work fine with that. You want it to stick on there and be there forever. Yep.
Okay, Debbie. That was for Debbie. No problem. Okay, here's another one. Can you print magnetic material on a copier like a Toshiba? I know that you... Go ahead.
No, you cannot. The feeding mechanism is not strong enough to pull it through the paper path that that piece of equipment has.
Okay, and Craig is asking, is there a place to go for design samples of the embedded cards? You're sending those, right?
There will be one in the kit that we're going to send, and then also on MohawkMakeReady.com, there are lots of different samples there.
Perfect. Any other questions? Going once. Going twice. Okay, before we sign off, I just want to, there, they took me up on that. Can the poly be perfed?
Yes, it can.
Okay. Since HP Indigo is liquid toner, do you know if that would work in designing bleed for the dimensional piece? I'm assuming all the designers want their bleeds.
Yeah. Well, it would work better, but you still might have a little bit of deletion in that. And not every indigo press loves the dimensional product. Depends on the paper path of the indigo. So I would say refer to the compatibility matrix for that.
I mean, basically, in all honesty, you are recommending not doing it because it doesn't work all the time. Therefore,
Right.
You kind of don't want people coming back to you saying, what's up with this paper? So it's really up to the designers and the print buyers if they want to take that chance and working with their printers and even merchants to see samples of maybe people who have done it successfully, they might be able to get away with it. But the bottom line is here that officially you guys do not recommend bleed.
Well
right?
said.
Perfect. So let's just say we're all about the dreamers and the people who want to do it, but officially they will never say you can do bleed because they don't want to hear from you later on.
Yeah, when it isn't perfect, yeah.
With the tear-proof substrates, how do they cut with digital die cutters or traditional dies?
With the what proof? Say the question again.
Yeah, with tear-proof substrates. How do you cut with digital die cutters or traditional dies?
Oh, it's the same exact way you go through heavyweight paper. The thickness of the knife would do the same thing as you would die cut thick paper.
Right. Okay. I'm just reading them as they come in, just so you know.
I love it. I love it.
Are the sheets letters with embedded cards fully synthetic, or are they a combination of paper and synthetics?
They are in pearl. Yep, they are integrated, so the card portion would be synthetic, and the paper would be paper, so that you can pull that card off or punch that card out of the actual piece of paper.
Are there any envelopes you have that will print on an iGen?
Depending on the iGen, an iGen diamond press can actually print envelopes, I believe, up to 10 by 13.
Okay.
Shoot me an email, and I can get them more information.
Okay, so Debbie, make sure you have Molly. Maybe you should just keep this slide on your email address.
I'll go back. I'll go back.
It'll be easier. Just everybody make sure you get that. Get that address. Okay. What different mill thicknesses of the magnetic substrate do you have? I recently purchased some 17 mil from you online. Are there any other thicknesses?
Depends on what engine you're going to actually print it on, but we have 13 to 17 mil unmagnetized substrate.
Okay.
Shoot me an email and we can talk more.
Okay. Robert wants to know what he has to do to make sure he gets one of the kits, and he's done it by showing up today. So, ta-da!
I love Oreo cookies, Robert.
Okay, Dave just saying thank you.
Thank you.
Then another David would like to know, are there chemicals that can affect the toner that is printed on a synthetic? For example, a synthetic used for menu use.
You know what? Fabulous question. Now you're my favorite over Greg. So sorry, Greg. So yes, in our premium polyester line, we have a product that is sanitizable with a product like a Purell or a hand sanitizer, and it's also alcohol proof. So other synthetics, if you spill a beer or a drink or a glass of wine on a menu, it will take the toner off. Our premium polyester has a coating on it that protects it. So menus that are used with liquor, you don't have to worry about it. Or products that are used in the healthcare segment that need to be sanitized can be sanitized with alcohol, and nothing happens to the toner. Great question.
Okay, and the last question, is really about all of your papers and their recycled content. I'm assuming Mohawk MakeReady has that information?
Our website, Mohawk Connect,
Oh, sorry.
okay,
Michael, so
has all of that, and we have everything from virgin fiber sheets to 100% post-consumer, manufactured with wind, you know, the gamut. We go from, you know, a full cotton sheet to 100% recycled.
how, Gwen would like to know, how does the poly label work with oils?
Like food, like olive oil, or like gasoline oil. I would say gasoline probably would take the toner off. I think oil's probably okay, but I would say that you should test it.
Beauty products. Beauty products oil.
I would say test it. I mean, they are grease proof,
Right.
so you know, depending on what the oil is in beauty products. But I would say test it. We certainly can send you some printed samples on different engines, and you can, you know, see what you think.
That's a good question, though. It does kind of
That was a good question.
can get kind of greasy, but we don't have all the answers, Gwen. I'm sorry. Okay, I am going to say thanks so much again. If you could just flip to the last slide, Mal.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Thanks so much again to everybody. We had over 100 people in the webinar, and you all stayed the whole time, so thank you. I just wanted to once again let you know to go to webinars.printmediacentr.com in order to sign up for our list to make sure you get invitations to all of our upcoming webinars. Sometimes I do send out invitations earlier because there's limited amount of samples. Basically, you got to be in it to win it, so as they say. And the last thing, besides thanking Mohawk, Molly, thank you so much again for your time and your energy and your enthusiasm, and you're a paper person, and we love that. I just also want to thank Explore International, who allows me to hijack their webinar platform because they can get up to 1,000 people and I can't. So we thank them so much for that, and unless anyone else has any more questions, which they don't, but everyone's excited to get their kit, Molly, so you guys have some work for you. I want to thank everybody very much for attending, and I am going to close the webinar now. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.